You're now towards the end of the week, the Sunday match of the week. In fact, Sunday is a day of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Fun facts, it's JD taking on IG, our series, rather, of the week, with IG undefeated and JDG looking for their impact here in the 2019 Spring Split. We are over in Beijing, in JD's home arena, to kick us off. And let me tell you, we have been waiting for this matchup. My name is Jake Asterix Ozipenko. Clement Chu is next to me, and this matchup is going to deliver.
It really is a battle between the elite of the LPL. Of course, IG needs no introduction. They were the second-place team overall for the LPL in 2018. And for JD Gaming, they were hovering around the 4th and 5th place. So really intense matchups, a lot of good players on both sides. Yagao, Zoom winning the rookies of the split in their respective positions.
Yeah.
IG with their trident force, their trident carries of Jackie Love, rookie, and the Shy incoming. Great names, great battles to be held.
And of course, IG finishing second in China, you'll remember. And world champions.
Yeah, world champions. That's a big one I missed.
they still want to finish first. They still want the Chinese championship. They want the title. For JDG, missed out on an opportunity to go to Worlds, and EDG went as the 3rd seed. Even Rogue Warriors, some were saying, were missing out in that position, but JDG were expected to be there. So it is a bit of a redemption story for JDG, but as you said, it's still the Dumpling Brothers, specifically Zoom in the top lane, who will be going up against the Shy, and that just gets me so excited.
Yeah, this is definitely the hype matchup of the night right here. So far, Zoom has been the only one to consistently win the lane against the Shy. You look at the solo kills against each other. No other solo kills are counted here. It's 3-1 in Zoom's favor. Out of 8 games, he's actually taken the CS lead, or no, I should say the gold lead, 5 times during this lead. However, the rest of the map for JD Gaming has not really held up on Zoom's promises.
Yeah, I just want to pull out that our cheeky production, I mean, that final stat, 1 world championship over 0. It's a hard stat to get.
Yeah.
But the Shy's got it.
That's a mic dropper.
Yeah.
That's definitely a mic drop, but it's not really fair to Zoom. It's not very fair. The bottom line is Zoom has actually had a great time over the Shy. He finished #1 on the first team for the LPL for the top laner over the Shy. And we've seen him have good performances on stuff like Jace, like stuff like Gangplank, and stuff like his own developed Grass of the Undying Swain, which he actually won over the Jace.
Yeah, no, honestly,
won over the Shy.
Let's continue looking at that top lane, because the Shy hasn't been playing as much as Duke, but we still heavily sit with Ning's influence. Duke has started 4 out of the 6 games there. That's like there's a massive hit ratio for the IG's top laner.
Yeah, and it's actually kind of surprising that the Shy is actually playing any games at all. What we heard from the coaching staff is that he is taking a bit of an extended break, and when he did play, he actually didn't even warm up.
Yeah.
Coach Maffa said, he asked the Shy, hey, do you want some game time? And he was like, okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
I'll just play Aatrox.
Yeah, I'll just play like a solo queue game. It's like, okay.
I mean,
so Duke has been the main starter. We do have to establish
but they
that.
have had similar champion pools, and Ning has always been influential towards that top side of the map. Ning has played some crazy champions to start off our LPL Spring Split, but acting like a world-class champion or jungler should.
Oh, yeah, he was the World Finals MVP. We have to remember that one as well. And he's been carrying that MVP performance all the way to the Spring Split so far. 5 MVPs in the first 5 games of Invictus Gaming. They've won all of their games, and he's been doing it with style, with his own style, I should add, on champions like Kayn and the Zac.
The Zac has been just fantastic to watch, mind you.
Oh, yeah. He says it in the mic check. You can all rewind and hear it. He says he is the Zac King. How come my Zac is so good? He doesn't even understand. Great on the initiations, great on the engages. Always helps with the turret diving as well. And when you go over to the Kayn, he's one of the few junglers outside of Peanut that's also picking it up. Not a strong champion earlier on, but once you get the transformations, he can go in, stay in fights forever. And you just saw in that 2v4 play, there's almost no windows where you could deal damage to the Kayn. He was in the walls. He was doing the his ultimate inside the AD carry, and he can actually just carry the game by himself.
Remember, this is Kayn before 9.2, when the quality of life changes make him so much more appealing. So Ning is still, the world-class jungler that he is, both in the LPL and both, again, worldwide. There's more to it in layers of IG and JDG. We have our other dumpling brother in the mid lane, in Yagao, and of course, the world-class mid laner in Rookie.
And this is an interesting one because, Yagao has really been tested in terms of his champion pool. Hasn't shown a lot. On the other hand, Rookie has no problems with champion pool.
Yeah.
Invictus Gaming love to ban out mid lane champions, and we need to see something outside of Yagao, outside of his Zoe and his Galio.
Well.
And Syndra. Syndra actually has not been working out for him. So I think a lot of onus is going to be for Yagao to actually perform on a champion that Invictus Gaming is going to leave open.
Because Rookie's played, I think, he's played 5 different champions over 6 games, if I'm not mistaken, and the only champion he's repeated was either the Galio or the Zoe. But he's got such a wide champion pool. The rest of IG truly do as well. And you see how versatile they are, especially in that mid lane. Like, we were just hyping up top, but there's a lot to talk about when you're talking about Invictus Gaming. And Yagao, this is going to be one of his hardest matchups.
It definitely is. Historically, it's always been one of the most difficult ones. And even though Zoom actually wins most of the time in the top lane, the rest of the map has not been doing well. The mid lane, like we were talking about, and also the bot side. The bot side of the map has also been a sore point in this matchup when it's up against Jackie Love and Baolan. I really want to see how Imp and Lumao can now do.
That's right.
They've revamped this roster, and Imp, even though he has had a quiet stretch, I feel like individually he actually has quite good
Imp has had some of the best performance, and I think revitalizing him towards 2019. Can also confirm that Levi will be starting here in JDG for game number 1. So JDG needed that revamp in the jungle as well. And with Flawless and Levi interchanging, that's fantastic. But what we saw of Flawless the other day was just not up to standard. And that's, you know, FPX took them down a solid 2-0 against our favored JDG.
Yeah, Tien had a great performance against Flawless. I don't think Flawless showed up on his usual champion pool of stuff like Lee Sin and the Kazakhs. He's been playing much more passively, going back towards picks that don't really contest you earlier on, stuff like the Sejuani and the Nocturne. So I do think Levi coming in, if he can lead off with champions like the Rek'Sai he showed last time, and of course the Kazakhs that he was very well known for in 2017, he could give JD Gaming that much needed early aggression.
Well, for Imp, for Levi, 2 names you should know very well. JDG relying a little bit on that star power, but we're not talking about OMG here. We're talking about a fairly young organization in the LPL. Considering IG have been around for so long now, have proven that they are the world champions that deserve to be so. Imp will be playing his 300th game in the LPL. So this is a big one for him. You don't want this memory, this hallmark, to be a downer.
Yeah, Imp, you know, World Championship Season 4, jumped up on the LPL in Season 5, showing up some red packets he possibly can hand out later on.
Gave you a red packet before, Clement. I hope you opened it. The Shy, Ning, Rookie, Jackie Love, and Baolan. That's our roster, so starting in Game 1, it will be the Shy rather than Duke.
Oh, and this might actually be a mini redemption for the Shy because he has to prove his chops up against Zoom, who took the first team. He's the first player we're going to see. Levi starting, our Vietnamese superstar. Yagao, the other Dumpling brother, and Imp and Lumao to round out the bottom.
Now, that bottom lane has been consistent, as you mentioned before. It has been probably one of the highlights of JDG, but the rest of their map hasn't been able to get going. Heavily talked about the Dumpling brothers, Zoom and Yagao. Going up against the Shy, which we now confirm is starting for Game 1, and Rookie.
It's going to be super hype early on. The Shy has basically been blind picking Aatrox whenever he gets the chance, so I do expect that to be the move coming out. But for Zoom, he actually does have a lot of things that can play up against the Aatrox. He does has the Swain. We've seen that being played in the LCK as well. He's a phenomenal Victor player earlier on, as well as we saw in the Demacia Cup tournaments. And he's just a player that has so many tricks up his bag. So whoever has the counter pick, I would say, would define more of the top lane matchup.
Because if Aatrox is open, the Shy is going to pick up Aatrox.
Yeah, he's going to pick it.
That's stock standard, but if Zoom wants to flex around, something like the Renekton that we saw last series, which has a 100% win rate, we'll say till the ends of times after 9 games. Then Zoom, that fits his style a little bit more. So there's definitely a challenge and a gauntlet that can be thrown from this top side of the map from JDG, and it's about time to refresh it.
And there on the map, we just saw Jackie Love. Now, I think he's going to be a key point in the matchup because JD Gaming, they love picking into the Lucian. However, there is a counter that exists, the Draven. And Jackie Love has made his name on the Draven pick. Was a Draven streamer before he joined the LPL. has actually a very good win rate on the pick as well. He's not afraid to pick it out.
I don't think has he picked it up yet for the LPL? For
He's definitely picked it up for the LPL before. Definitely played it.
But the spring 2019.
Spring 2019, not yet.
Okay,
not yet.
all right. Well, I wouldn't mind seeing a bit of Draven. I wouldn't mind spicing up that bottom lane just a little bit more. When you're going up against Ip and Lumao, there are some concerns for the bottom lane. Let's question how that goes, because for JDG, relying on the veterancy of Imp. Now, 2018, 2017, we didn't hear too much from Imp. We didn't hear much from Levi last year as well, but that's a different conversation. For Imp, it's just been okay, Imp, you're on LGD. What's going to happen now? What's it like with PYL? What is the experience of this player going to do? I know. And now it feels like he's got a chance to step into the spotlight a bit.
He's definitely freed from the shackles of LGD a little bit. Freed, frankly, from the shackles of WE, which he did not have a good showing on either. This is the first time in multiple splits that we've actually seen Imp do something and look somewhat good on the map. So he's definitely got that going for him. But against IG is a tall task. What we've seen of the matchup so far is usually JD Gaming is trying to outrun Invictus Gaming. It sounds weird, but they actually do try to outrun Invictus Gaming with super aggressive early ganks, super aggressive laning phase. They really like to take it to you that way. And for Invictus Gaming, even though a lot of times they've picked a later game scaling composition, they've still won out in the laning phase against JD Gaming. So it's been a bit of a lopsided matchup. Overall, this score is something like 9-1 in total historical matchups.
It's insane. I think even it's 7-1, but still it's
7-1 just with the Shy versus Shy versus Zoom, but it's actually even more dominant for Invictus Gaming.
Really?
Yeah, really. So JD Gaming games, their game plan, I need to see them throw out something different. It can't be a Hail Mary. They really like to do that. But I want to see maybe a later scaling composition that they can run. I want to see some new picks. I want to see some diversity.
Well, diversity starts in the top lane, moves its way to the mid, but no diversity here to speak of with a Lucian ban with Galio as well. Those team fighting compositions shut down a little bit more towards the mid game. That's not what JDG wants to do. So got first pick here for IG.
A lot of respect coming out from JD Gaming. They know the Aatrox is #1 under the Shy priority. Also the Akali that can be flexed both ways as well. And for JD Gaming, they're looking at a very open type of draft. We've seen a lot of Rakan and Zayas being picked up in the first two, but Olaf locked in. They're actually going to go late game. I like that. I like that.
But Kaiser locked down in this first phase. Let's see what the response is from IG straight away. No questions asked with Zaya. Rakan is open. Stop the Nico flex. Not unless you're going to do it, rookie. But
there we go.
Look, Rakan, before he gets absolutely hit in before 9.2.
I don't like the Blitzcrank. Rakan's much better. Rakan's much better against the Olaf, at least. Blitzcrank is just a sitting piece of meat, or rubbish, I should say, on the lane. And that's a real danger for JD Gaming. Like, I like the Kaisa. I like that they have a later game option, but most of the times, getting over Zai Rakan means that lane is not going to go well for you.
At least influence your lane a little bit more. Instead of the Alistar, which was open, Fiddlesticks locked in. Game 1 already shaping up to be nice.
I will say that...
You hate this.
I don't like Fiddlesticks as a pick. It's so fragile in lane. I've never seen anyone do very well on the Fiddlesticks. It's always been below 50% win rate. I will say, however, Lumao's Fiddlesticks has been a little bit better than Crisp's.
Yeah.
Just from my observation. He is willing to sit on the ultimate and wait for the surprise party. But just in terms of the draft, Fiddlesticks is super fragile. You need to ban out a lot of junglers and make sure that he can stay alive in the early
Well, you were watching Kahlua this morning and you didn't really like the Fiddlesticks
no, I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
See if Lumao changes your mind a little bit there, Clement, because there's always openings here for a Fiddlesticks.
Look at the Fiddle. Like, you pick the Fiddle, and you're like, okay, we need to keep him alive. Throw 2 bans into the jungler position. That feels bad. And if you think about what Ning has, he still has the Kayn and the Zac as well. So it's not like you're even safe.
No, not with the front line that's already been built up to IG. Urgot is enough, Zyrakan enough damage, and means versatility for mid and jungle, but 2 bans away. Xin Camille, as you mentioned before. Lissandra, we're expecting to see today, is denied yet another game.
It does look like JD Gaming. The big question is, who are they going to leave that counter pick up towards? They don't share a champion pool between Zoom and Yagao, in fact, so...
Oh, yes. Yagao's specialty left open and available JDG need a window into this series. This is how they create it, but never mind that. Even better, another Renekton game in JDG with the pressure of the 100% win rate.
I like this move. I feel like if you're selecting the Zoe, you're just giving Rookie an easy time with the Syndra.
Yeah.
He's been great at punishing those portal jumps close range. We've even seen that at Worlds with him getting multiple solo kills on that champion. So I do like picking into the Renekton, something much safer in lane.
It means that the Zoe is left for IG to pick up. Rookie smacks down LeBlanc. The world champion mid laner is taking the fight to Yagao. Now throwing a gauntlet over to JDG. There is nothing left but what looks to be the jungler, and it is Kindred locked in for Ning.
That's so much damage on the composition. You could see they were hovering over the Jace, but they were thinking, wait a minute, we're a bit too much physical focused.
This makes sense, so Clement.
It does
JDG,
make sense.
You don't want to pick the Zoe after LeBlanc gets locked in. Go for the Rise. Go for something a little safer in the lane. Something that can work around with this Fiddlesticks. Question mark. Rise ult with Fiddlesticks. It does work, doesn't it? You just got to time it really well.
It does do a lot of work. It's this massive wombo combo. You're going to have a Fiddlesticks teleporting in from 3,000 range and just decimating the team. That's a possibility. But I have to say, if you're just looking at the lanes right now, not a lot of strength coming in early from the Rise or the Kai'Sa. The Rise is a good matchup into the LeBlanc. A lot of times you can get the Aftershock and just keep yourself alive, keep the lane pushed in that way. But overall, these are slow scaling picks. And I feel like it's going to have to come on the shoulders of Levi to have a great game to really take away the advantages and the explosiveness of the LeBlanc and the Rakan.
It's not so cut and dry though. For JDG, moving towards that late game, that is going to be their opening window. Renekton gets them through the mid to early stage, you could say. Kai'Sa's still going to get rid of that vulnerability, that they would have in the late game. But Azaya Rakan for Jackie Love and Balan. Rookie on LeBlanc. Ning is on Kindred. And then the Shy's like, I may as well just play Urgot. We don't need anything
You know
else.
what this comp is? This is basically, I want to get an MVP in every single lane comp.
Yeah. Ning has 5 out of 6.
Yeah.
Only losing 1 to Rookie.
He wasn't even happy with the missing out on the 6th one. He actually called out Jackie Love, like, why did you pick me Lee Sin? Like, Lee Sin's a utility pick. I want something that can carry.
Oh, Jackie Love. We haven't talked too much about the bottom laner. Sure, we will in-game with the Fiddlesticks matchup moving into the equation. This is one of the first times that Imp has not picked up the Ezreal when it was left and available. A speciality becoming of Imp for JDG. Zaya Rakan here. It's going to make a name. This is the matchup of the week, Clement, and I'm sure game 1 will deliver.
Oh, definitely will. There's so many strong picks coming out from both sides, and I like the way that JD Gaming is trying to push this later on. A lot of times, contesting the laning phase against Invictus Gaming is suicide. They are the Trident, they are the lane kings themselves, and they are finishing games under 30 minutes on average. You cannot bank on, a lot of times you cannot bank on going straight 1v1 with them.
Can you challenge the world champions? A big question here for JDG. This is our match of the week. Well, let's get right into it. Holy. That is an electric stadium in Beijing. JDG, it is their home arena, so of course they start first, no matter what side. But Invictus Gaming, once you win Worlds, you kind of demand attention.
There's a certain aura that goes with it.
Never mind, Fiddle was invisible. Look at the damage! Ignite! Balan
gonna go
down! Auto attack does it! Luomao gets flashed on, ignited himself, he lives, and that is JDG opening up with first blood.
And that's the first Fiddlesticks where I've seen something like that actually work. He's a terrific level 1 champion. Gets the Dark Wind down, tons of damage, tons of bounces just onto the bot lane, and they're able to get Yagao in on the action to clean up the kill as well.
Oh, the perfect start for Fiddlesticks. Like, Luomao came into this game with a champion that Clement just dislikes.
I'm not a
dislikes.
I'm
It's
not
all right.
a
We
fan.
know by now, Clement. It's okay. but this is the perfect start for the bottom lane of JDG.
Sometimes you have to remember that Fiddlesticks is an absolute monster in level 1. I don't think there's a single champion that can have that much impact. He silences most of your champions, and then there's a bounce back and forth with all that damage coming into the skill. Probably not the best decision to contest that coming out from Invictus Gaming side, and that might open them up to consecutive ganks coming in from Levi. We were talking about the bot lane does need to get does need to stabilize itself against something like Jack 11 Balan.
Well, Rakan already off before they can begin. Bottom lane now. The jungler of JDG. Ning is to the top side though. Zoom is already at half health, but Ning level 2 will go for the invade, look to level up just first. Remember that Zoom does have sustain in this lane.
This is more of a protective pick for the Shy into the top links. Protective route. Just wants to make sure that Levi can't find purchase onto the Shy earlier on.
Was spotted out by Vision though, so Levi makes the response, as you said.
Yumal getting a couple more bounces. Aftershock is pretty standard from what we've seen. This does give you a little bit more survivability when you do decide to jump into team fights.
Look at that mechanical scarecrow. It's like a mini boomerang that's just spinning back and forth. Not too much damage just yet, but you know that'll grow. So Ning is spotted out on the way out in that top side of the map, but Levi turret died very early on. Levi takes a lot of damage. The fear is down onto Jackie Love. They need the kill. Ignite down, a 1-for-1 trade. Lumao is out of there. Look at who the kills went over to though. Baolan and Lumao pick out yet another one there for the Fiddle.
Yeah, overall still a win for JD Gaming because they do take down the AD carry, but it was a great play from Balan to salvage that situation. Double knock up onto Imp, and Lumao does break the damage coming in onto his own AD carry. So, you know, like, it could have gotten a lot worse for Invictus Gaming is what I'm trying to say.
But let's add this to the mix. Frost Queen's claim's going to come that much quicker there for Lumao. He's got a 450 gold bounty at 4 minutes into the game.
He can start playing the roaming fiddle.
I mean, just get Mobies early and smack down.
It's a lot of lane domination coming in from the Fiddlesticks. It's going to be very hard to actually push that lane out. But at the same time, I'm not too worried about picking that bounty up. Fiddle is a very easy champion to kill.
Even if he walks mid right now, there is going to be a response from Ning, who's hiding in the brush. Baolan's here as well. Trying to get Rookie off the ground. Yagao has no mana. Level 5 finding lands here with the chain there. Ning is dissuaded by Lumao. Help from the support, but 3 members here. Lumao level 3, but not going to be dove. Bit of pressure towards that mid lane. Bit of a Monka-esque situation.
I really like this LPL play. Both supports roaming early, just trying to find a kill. We do see these plays happen a lot in the LPL where one lane has a decided minion wave advantage and both sides are just waiting for the minion wave to crash. A lot of the times the supports will leave lane in this situation, and that's really what separates us from regions like, I'll be honest, from North America and from EU.
Yeah,
our 50-minute kills are actually far more frequent compared to these other regions.
And we've been seeing so much more action as well, even for the LPL standard. That's taken a new height in this game especially. 3 kills, 5 minutes. JDG hold a small gold advantage, but you can see Levi just clearing out some of these scuttles. This is the second one he's picked up, I believe. And Ning now moving to the top side of the map. Zoom should be able to handle a 2v1 at level 6, but he's not level 6 just yet. So Ning still trying to find his way into one of these lanes.
Good trade back in from Yagao. Let's consider a lane counter. Now Zoom's in trouble if the disdain does land.
It's hard when you're going up into a world-class top laner. For someone like Zoom, one of the best in China, he's got the history behind him as well, but on the Renekton, when he hits that level 6, he's going to have a big ask here. Fear Beyond Death is available now for the Shy. Top lane presence there for both junglers, but Ning eventually had to back away.
Large minion way to contest with. Doesn't really want to show himself either. And Lumao should be starting to assert his dominance in the lane. Does have 2 kills under his name.
Still unable to do too much at the moment. Waiting for Crowman to... What is that E?
Dark Winds.
Thank you so much. You don't even like Fiddlesticks and you know that. Well done, Clement. Yagao actually is level 6 in the mid lane, but never mind that. We're back to the bottom lane. Ignites down again onto Baolan. They hate the support from IG. The 1v2. Jackie Love has done it. taking them down. It's Imp who drops, and Lumao can't get a thing.
Jackie Love with a great flash forward to get extra damage onto his blade collar.
Oh, yeah.
Even though Imp, I believe he did dodge out on most of the damage, flashing towards the left side, it was still too much to deal with because you have to look at the lethal tempo in all-in trades. That's really what gives Xayah a lot of her laning power. Let's see how the fight starts. It is a 2-for-1 kill lead on JD Gaming's side. So they are expected to get a little bit of advantage. Most of their damage is thrown on Baolan. He needs to exit the fight early.
Wow.
Jackie Love with the flash and gets the blade collars onto 2 members. Even though Imp does follow up with the flash to dodge out, Lethal Temple still wins out on the trade.
This young man cannot be underestimated, but JDG fight back in the top lane. You can see ultimate is burned, fear beyond death, but Ragnarok stops it down. The Shy flashes away. Never mind. Levi says, come at me.
And still a win for JD Gaming. They do get the extra assist gold. And probably a little bit more control on the wave as well.
This game's delivering, Clement.
I know.
You know what? I was scared that JDG would be the team that faced up against FPX, couldn't handle the chaos. But you know what? JDG, they were born in it, molded by it. It feels like IG right now looking for a response, and that might be in the mid lane. Massive passive shield from Yagao. Has the flash. Ning ready to commit. Lamb's respite is available. He'll pop it down just in time. Yagao drops down, and Ning finally moves into a lane.
All in play coming in from Ning, and this is what we've been seeing from his ganking. If he gets a champion that has ability to avoid death, like the Kayn, like the Zac, he's gonna go super hard just to kill your lane. Like, he didn't even really have vision behind that kill. He just knew that he wouldn't fall down because of his mechanics, and he was willing to go all in.
And with no Yagao in the mid lane, Zoom is way too far pushed out. Rookie's coming up. Ning's here as well. The Renekton is in so much trouble. Zoom walks back down, but slowed with a red buff. Rookie will help Ning get that kill in the end. Everyone from IG has picked up blood.
And Ning is going on a mad stacking mission right now. 2 stacks already before the 10-minute mark. If he can get that extra auto attack range with the 4th mark, these lanes are going to be so hard played for JD Gaming.
All right, Lumao, you have 2 kills, you have mobility boots, and you will have a Cloud Drake after it's been secured by Levi on the Olaf. Start moving around the map. You've got those 2 kills, you've got the resources, and JDG behind 1K need to start pushing the momentum back in their favor.
I like how defensive Invictus Gaming's bot lane is playing up. They don't see the fiddlesticks, so they're willing to take a step back and just avoid that 4v2 situation. A very important part of the meta right now is just to avoid going too ham when you are playing on the weak side. No help is going to come from top.
And you can't right now. There's a 20 CS lead in that top lane. The Shy was able to get some turret plating. Phage picked up on the back. Already had the Ninja Tabi. JDG, their move is bottom lane. Forget about the top lane Renekton right now. He's 0-2. We've got to make something move, and Lumao and Levi are hunting for blood, but Ning is at Krugs. They haven't been spotted out.
They're going to go for Rookie. Lumao already channeling.
Over the wall, the fear comes in. Pro Storm of Legends. Levi smacks down again. Oh, I miss Gigabyte Marines, Levi. That's what it feels like right here, Clement. 2 kills now for the Olaf.
And both of these teams are just roaming around the map so well at the moment. The Shy lands.
Pops Dominus now. Zoom needs to heal up, but he can't. Fear beyond death again. The Shy is eating this top laner alive.
And I think the Shy is looking for that solo kill score. It's 3-1 in Zoom's favor before the match started, but the Shy might be able to equalize it just in this one game.
Remember, the best top laner in the world. That title is just not for something in gigs. It's there because the Shy has proved it time and time again. 20 CS up continues, pushing for another turret plating. 2 kills in his back pocket now. That Black Cleaver is more than his, and Ning's coming up to help get first turret blood.
And this might be the first game where we actually see Renekton falling down in lane. Hasn't had a great showing against the Urgot matchup. Even though you have the dominance to avoid the execution coming in from the Urgot, it's still very difficult to play, especially when you're playing on the weak side of the map and you're constantly getting shoved in.
JDG have made a response towards that said shove. Ning waiting in the brush. Zoom's going to push up to the wave. He doesn't know Ning's here. Zoom doesn't check it either. Ning is still waiting patiently. Levi's up in the top lane.
Lumao's
and
gone.
He just backed. Lumao left before. Ning waits patiently. Zoom is on an island.
Ning's still waiting for that chance where he can just go in.
Maybe he just fell asleep.
I think he could go super hard for this kill. There's no dominance on Zoom. And he still has the last fight. Yeah.
Still waiting in the top lane.
I feel like he was just waiting for Lumao to show.
Yeah. Does wait eventually. Lumao shows to the bottom lane and he finishes his back. Bit of damage coming through from good old Fiddle Diddle in the bottom lane. But Lumao still yet to get more of those engages. I say yet, but he's picked out one good kill to go over to Levi. Things stabilized for JDG still. 12 minutes into the game.
The next moves for JD Gaming have to be clearing those river wards. It's going to be very difficult for them to move out on the map, and Fiddlesticks is a champion where you can really benefit out of blind spots on the map.
Yeah.
Should be their #1 position. I wonder where they're going to drop the control wards to give a good launching pad for Lumao.
Well, IGA have gained control of this bottom side river with the control wards. Ning knows there's no vision in this side rush. Levi will have to check up with a ward or with an undertow, but Ning knows he's nearby. Will actually get sandwiched out, so Ning's over the wall as 4 members from JDG collapse on in to help clear vision.
It's actually quite a rare play being done by JD Gaming nowadays, because leaving lane and giving up tower plating, not really where you want to be in the matchup.
Oh, yeah. Exactly right. Dead on, Clement. Lumao, ulting. Here we go again. Onto Jackie Love. Killer Instinct into the backline. If is out of the fight. Root Caller down. If goes gold, but Ning is just doing so much damage. Levi has to flash away. IG are taking this fight for their own.
Ning has the red buff and the Lance Respite.
Oh, you need to get into the Realm Warp. They do. Rookie has no mana to follow up. Boy, oh boy.
But the entire map is open now for Invictus Gaming. They can transfer to mid lane, get a couple more tower platings. They can do the Drake. That was a fairly successful Fiddlesticks ultimate, but it didn't yield enough results there. I believe there was a stasis pop. No, not really a stasis pop, but very good reaction from Baolan to draw Lumao out of position.
Oh, back onto Rocky in the mid lane. He doesn't have enough mana. Yagao knows this, but 3 members are mid. Baolan has the grand entrance. Ning has Lamb's Respite as well. Remember, no Ragnarok available for Levi. Yagao turning the fight onto Ning. Grand entrance misses from Baolan. Fight down. Ning does secure his mark. Gets ignited on the way out, but a big worth here for IG's jungler.
And Ning again playing like a monster. It's... I don't think there's been a single jungle game where he actually lost out on the map.
Correct.
All 6 games he's been dominant in terms of just the gold lead and the pressure that he's been exerting. And what we've seen from the stats is that he farms very, very little compared to other LPL jungles, but he ganks a lot more.
Yeah.
He almost ganks at, like, I believe it was 30% the rate of all other LPL junglers. And he has a very, very high success rate with those ganks incoming. So really carving out a new style of play on the 9.1 patch.
Levi's struggling to keep up at this point, but still has the kills to boot. And for IG, it's quite a wonder to see this World Championship team come into the 2019 season in the exact same form. Because a lot of other teams have made roster changes. Let's talk a little bit about Fnatic, who have made key roster changes and are starting off the season poorly across the world. Other teams, you know, you might look at maybe RNG, who into the quarterfinals last time, but RNG have not started off the split strong as well. But IG have just doubted everyone. Come in with the exact same form. And against JDG, still looking strong. They lose a couple of turrets across the map, but still a 3k gold lead. And Zoom just cannot deal with the Shy.
JD Gaming, they really need a big team fight win at this point. They are pretty much a wombo combo team, but at the same time, they're also looking at the scaling for Imp to kick in. And IG are just playing them as fools across the map. They've been getting the better of the trades. I feel like the Herald trade to open up potentially the mid lane was a little bit more beneficial for Invictus Gaming's side, and also just the top lane was pretty much free.
Clements continue to grow. Zoom is 40 CS behind. Mark that, about 30 CS at this point. And just still trying to push out and get involved with the rest of the map. Zoom is still an island. The Shy knows this and continues to play around this. Oh, yeah. I love Ryze's sounds on the Chinese client, by the way.
Yeah. Very interesting. We do have a completely different voiceover on the Chinese side.
I mean, if no one can tell that by now.
Oh,
They haven't been watching enough LPL.
I came from the LMS where there actually isn't a separate voiceover.
True.
So I always find that, oh, wow, that's interesting. They're not speaking English. Why?
Yeah, some of the English voices sometimes are going, oh, that's interesting. Chinese side, that's very cool. Anyway, IG still sitting mid. Now JD have brought Zoom to the mid lane. He still doesn't have his first item, but they want to take the fight. Forces out the Feather Storm. Jackie Love, no ultimate.
It's great play from Levi. He's using the speed difference to get the ultimate out. But I think they need to force now. Now, Lumao has cleared a path of vision where he can create a Crow Storm straight into the Invictus Gaming team. It's just about JD Gaming. Can they actually bait it?
IG know this, though. They're like, we're not going anywhere near that rush.
They need to sell it. JD Gaming need to sell it. Levi, go take some damage.
No one's mid apart from Levi and Imp. Waiting for the wave to crush back in. Bala and Jackie Love are the only ones out of the brush. The rest of IG is scattered around. The Shine moving up.
The kick is up. Will
be spotted out. Lumao. Only level 8 on the Fiddlestick, so that Crow Storm not at its max potential just yet.
Yeah, it's been roaming a lot. That's going to be a sad Scarecrow. And in the meantime, we see Ning able to pick up a little bit more CS on the top.
Levi steals away the red buff though, and meanwhile, while CS goes down, Rift Herald does too. Behind this first turret, Rift Herald is going to take a reverse charge. Turret is going to drop here with the help of Jackie Love, who goes in a little bit too early, but does go down anyway. Over the wall, IG managed to secure that inner turret. Out.
That was a really smart use of the Rift Herald overall.
Going to get another charge as well. Bit of excess damage on the inner turret. IG still here, want to aggro the fight.
There is no teleport position presumed to come in. Their only chase down would be the axes coming in from Levi, and they are dissuaded by Rookie fairly early on. I really like that move from Ning. He could judge that JD Gaming were on the bottom side of the map, and he took a very unconventional way of using the Herald straight from behind the tower to get the push going.
Watch Lumao though, over the side.
Here he
coming in onto the Urgot with the Shine. Tanky. How tanky though? Into the backside. Zoom's already out of the fight. Forced out is Levi. Lumao in the Lamb's respite, but he gets forced out again. Fiddlesticks is down, and IG survived the 5-man fight.
And they were in no danger for losing members right there. Ning with the perfect Lamb's respite, all of IG members standing on top of it, denying access for the JD Gaming members, and they just pushed the team fight instantly back into JD Gaming's court.
It's being constantly apparent that IG are confident in all of these fights. Turret goes down, ready to take Yagao next, but it's simply going to be the turret and objective down more so for IG as they back away.
JD Gaming, they had their bot side even for quite a while, but just the individual power from Invictus Gaming really showcasing their strength. The 2v2 went over to IG. Also, the top lane, there was a solo kill that happened.
Yeah.
It pretty much was the lane kingdom coming to full force.
Oh, Yagao wants Ning. He knows he has no ult. Flashes over the wall. Yagao had his flash. Did he not see that?
I mean, Ning has to have his sunglasses on at this point. His gold chains, all of his cool gangsta stuff.
I think he might have. Actually, Telemore going to come through. Yagao joined the fight earlier. Ning is not here, and now Zoom is. Urgot's down. JDG winnable until Lumao drops down. It has to flash away. Redemption's going to come down, but it does absolutely nothing. In the front of the fight, Balan helping out as Jackie Love walks forward. So many summoners burn. Rookie jumps forward into Yagao. The final burst lands down. Balan doesn't have the range, but quickness is here. Support wants in, and Ning's ready to party. Zoom over the wall. He must slice. He dices away. IG win yet another fight.
That was a great start for JD Gaming. It was a 5v3 situation where they picked up the shot early. Ning was not there, but the comeback kills from Rookie. Two great chains earlier on to snipe out the bot lane from JD Gaming, force them to really scatter. And you could see Imp had to go on the right side, and the rest of the members were effectively cut off. They had to scatter.
More resources, more fights. Building up that damage, building up the versatility of these set team fights. It doesn't matter that Ning wasn't there. Rookie right now is such a big threat. Even Jackie Love, 2 items on this Xayah. Things are blowing out of control. IG looking to remain undefeated here. They just picked up their first elemental. Baron is sitting there and waiting. Next fight could decide it.
The Invictus Gaming motto is we never do overtime. We finish all our matches in 2 games, and we finish them in average on 29 minutes and 25 seconds. They are an extremely fast team. They do not like to drag things out, and they're always looking for fights. This is how IG games have gone. You see this critical overflow.
Pro Storm went to Ning. He's feared up. He cannot use Lamb's Respite. That is a massive shutdown, and it goes on to Levi. JDG, stop Baron if it was ever going to be started up.
Really good positioning from Luma.
Yakao has found Jackie Love. Now Feathers will fly if he gets caught in danger. Rookie over the wall. Levi here. Oh, this game has just gone from Monka S to Monka Omega in about 5 minutes.
Jackie Love was so much cool on that play. Sees the Room Prison come in, but does not use the ultimate.
Oh, Rookie just jumped back into the distortion. Ragnarok burned down. Rookie still has the damage to push out Levi. Balan over the wall. Redemption used by Levi once again. JDG walk away. Even 5 versus 4. Not confident as Zoom doesn't have teleport.
I really like what Invictus Gaming are doing right here. They read that JD Gaming expended 3 ultimates just to secure the kill earlier on Ning, so they had no business staying out on the map. They called their bluff and they forced them back into the inhibitor base.
Still feels like even after a pick from JDG, it's just not enough at this point.
They just expended too much to get it. So Invictus Gaming were actually super confident in stepping back up into the 4v5 and just saying, JD Gaming, you have nothing left. Get off our map.
Let me put it this way though, Clement. At this point, 4-0-1 on Levi. That's not a bad way to go if you're an Olaf.
Oh, he's been having a great game so far. But the question is, I don't think the rest of the damage dealers from JD Gaming can actually stay alive in these fights.
Yeah. Well, does have the plate to get him started in these fights though. 3 items now for the Olaf. Baron's actually being started up. Okay, this is where we begin. JDG don't have the vision to test this. It is spotted, but they need to go in now.
Rookie's trying to play keep away.
4K now, Realm Walk music out, it's a bait at 3K, Rookie's in on the side, Pro Storm in, Lumau brings in Impu, just ult straight away, Feathers fly, but Lumau's caught out, Golden in the middle, he is going to die, Jackie Love picks it up, and Levi forced away. Imp needs to do something, he's on the front line of this fight, and JDG getting cornered off, Levi wants to join the team, but the flash in from the Shy, Jungler down from JDG, and IG go up, straight to the Baron.
It's a really good positioning from Invictus Gaming. They knew that Zoom was going back to base, so it was going to be slow for the turn. They get the 5v4. They zone Zoom out of the position. I really like what Imp did with the fight. He did dance as well as he possibly could. But with the numbers disadvantage and a gold disadvantage, they have to make something work now.
Zoom and Yakao want something out of this, you're right. Lockdown is the Shy, Baron at 3K, Imp's in as well. 3 versus 5, getting the AoE into the pit, Lamb's Respite, IG Jackie Love, 3 hitting still. No one hits it until Ning smites it down, but Yakao and Imp, they live into the next AoE. Lumau comes in, it's a party, drop the flag, JDG ace.
And the Doubling Brothers bring it back to the forefront. It looked like a great play from Ning. The Lance Respite was on, but the Baron could not be taken. The Baron was also kept alive in that the circumference of the ultimate, and JD Gaming were actually granted extra time to clean up the fight with their members coming in.
Everyone from JDG walk towards that Baron and say no. IG have been denied their Baron buff, and JDG are back in this one. It is 5K, but you saw what Imp was able to do. You saw what Yakao was able to do. The Dumpling Brothers again.
It was a perfect positioning in that fight for JD Gaming, and I honestly believe that Ning wanted to keep his team alive, but not the Baron alive. That was a crucial play right there. If you see the damage right here, Invictus Gaming do have a chance to simply take the Baron. Zoom with the Great Flash goes in, and you can see the Lance Respite does cover the Baron, prevents it from being smited, from being taken, and JD Gaming gained so much time to actually gather their forces and clean up the fight. I want to see who took Baron down. Invictus Gaming did take Baron down, but it was still a full ace, and also the surrender emote coming out.
A perfect time to put it. Lumau got a 3-man bounce by the time Dark Wind was able to come back in. And now JDG have regained some of that map control, were able to push out the wave. 3K. a quick turnaround from 5, 6, 7,000 gold in a disadvantage. They get their third elemental of the game, and at 26 minutes, JDG knocking on the doors of IG, trying to give them their first loss.
Oh, they're trying for more than that. They're trying to give Invictus Gaming some overtime to work with in this game.
Oh, yeah.
The average was 29 minutes, but I'm not sure Invictus Gaming can close it out before then.
They almost find Balan as well, has to burn himself a W. But of course, that's really nothing. Actually burnt the heal. So even bigger there, a summoner down for IG's bottom lane.
And we have to mention that JD Gaming do have the scaling advantage in terms of this composition. Yagao can start being a side lane split pusher against the LeBlanc, and Kaisa has always been known for a late game burst damage as well. So JD Gaming, with that Baron fight, they do gain themselves another out towards victory.
Imp has 2 items, almost 3. Rapid Fire Cannon almost picked up and catching up to Jackie Love, who hit the Infinity Edge a while ago. Mid lane as well, 2, almost 3 items. Top lane, 2 for Zoom. Renekton getting to the point where he's going to struggle in some of these fights, but playing as a disruptor is going to be hard. Still, to match the Shy is going to be his next goal. And is able to push this wave out, but no objectives on the map just yet, so it's going to be a bit stagnant for a couple of minutes, folks.
And
See
both
where
of
it goes.
these teams not really looking to siege up quite yet. JD Gaming, a very short-range team. Levi just having some fun with his teammates.
Well, at this point, you know, I see everyone in chat, you know, 100 Thieves, Levi, bit of lulling. There's no time for that. You know, this is JDG Levi. And already we've seen the improvement when this guy gets put back into the spotlight. He was such a great jungler. You remember him on the Gigabyte Marines on his debut at Worlds. Gigabyte Marines were the team to beat because they were so innovative, they were so full of surprises, and again, it feels like Levi's brought some of the style, not with the pick necessarily today, but more so with his style in these fights. Acting as, again, disruptor in the backlines. Levi giving JDG these windows.
There's always been a lot of questions about Levi. Can he actually play around a team that does not focus around himself? He had the most kills in Giga Marines Worlds and MSI runs from the jungle position.
Oh, yeah.
People were asking, what would he look like if he had to play the facilitation role? What would he look like if he could tax the lanes as aggressively as he was doing? And it looks fine. It looks like he still has his mechanics. Honestly, I feel like he's having a better showing than Flawless at this point.
Yeah. They didn't put Levi in because Levi had that, I think it was a bit of a rough game against maybe Rogue Warriors.
They did mention that it was because of the did not have good Mandarin, so they did lose out on the Baron for that loss.
Seems like communication's been firmed up quite a bit here for Levi. He's had about a week to work
I
back
can
into
teach
it.
you all the phrases you need to learn about League of Legends.
Well, please do, because my Mandarin is
easy.
shocking. I wish it was a lot better. Levi is, of course, going to be better than me, but as you said before, Clement, Baron is up in 1 minute 15. The communication around that is going to be key once again. Forget that Cloud Drake. It does not matter at this point. The Baron is going to define this game even further, and IG have not made a move since that last fight.
Invictus Gaming, they're not certain about the 5v5 potential. JD Gaming, I would say, have the better 5v5 composition overall.
Zoom almost caught out. The Shy does have Fear Beyond Death, but not going to use it unless it's a sure thing. And IG force out the top laner. Might actually try pushing for this inner turret.
Very good macro play from them. Look at how they're pushing out their vision with the mid lane push as well.
Imp's not there. So this turret is going to go down. It's whether JDG want to force it. Lumau pops on down. Remember, Crowstorm is available. Levi goes gold. Crowstorm is coming in. Hits only one in the Shy. Zoom is flanking in the backside. Straight onto the bottom lane, but Zoom gets bursted down. IG have found their dream fight. Levi onto Balan, but Realm warps in. They just need to get out. JDG have thrown everything away, and Imp's only left alive. IG again, their macro triumphs all.
And that was such beautiful play from Baolan. This is why Rakan is one of the best champions in the meta so far. He can not only engage, he can counter-engage. He went back on the 4 members of JD Gaming that were trying to meet up with Zoom on the flank, and he basically made them deal 0 damage in that engage. They could focus down Zoom and then turn their attention toward the remaining members.
It's going to be only Yagao who remains here in the fountain. That's the final kill. The full-blown ace for IG. JDG challenged our reigning champions, but it was not enough. Invictus Gaming remain undefeated here in Game 1 and give us so much to look forward to in this series.
It was the first big team fight loss that Invictus Gaming had to endure throughout their run so far, but in the end, they still come over triumphant on the JD Gaming roster. That was a really good play coming in from Balan, especially at the end. I like the way he positioned it. The flank idea from JD Gaming, I felt it was a bit half-baked. They did have a bit of mistake from Levi earlier on. He had to burn his stasis early. The engage, I don't think, was tight enough. They didn't have both sides collapsing at the same time. And Invictus Gaming was able to play one flank first and then turn around for the other.
But to say something lightly, Clement, JDG got a couple of windows open, and that's what excites me about the rest of this series, that it could potentially go the distance. JDG could find some of those openings once again. But for Invictus Gaming, they delivered the first loss to Renekton in the LPL.
Oh, I'm so sad for Renekton. He's my baby. He's one of my favorite champions to play in the top side as well. I like the JD Gaming draft overall. They are breaking the mold that they've set against Invictus Gaming, where they always go for super early game and try to win out with cheese plays. This time around, their composition made sense. It had early game components. It had late game components. It was a more well-rounded composition than the Hail Mary ones that we've seen from them. The only sad part was, I feel like, just on a pound-for-pound basis, they were still defeated by Invictus Game. The top lane was solo kill. The bottom lane 2v2 did not go in their favor, even with a kill lead on the Lumal Fiddlestick. So you just have to say sometimes it's all about the ID. The IDs make a difference, and Invictus Gaming proves that once more.
Exactly right, and you said it did start in the early game, which is very true. Good responses from JDG with Lumal roaming up and matching Battleland, who started moving across the map. First blood at the moment in the bottom lane before laning phase even starts. It's just becoming a meme in the LPL. Like, I don't know what happened there, but was it Balan or Jackie Love who died to first blood?
It was Balan that died to first blood. Had to burn his flash early on. Laning phase didn't look so hot just because of that, but they still managed to pull it out ahead.
That was only game one, Clement.
Yeah.
I know this series is going to deliver even more. We're going to have a short break and then jump back with our matchup of the week, JDG versus IG. Do not go anywhere.